Welcome to the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This week's article is Illuminating Our History, the La Candor Lodge Minutes book, Part 1, Finding the 11 Gentlemen of Charleston, by Brother Maynard Edwards, 33rd degree, and comes from the September-October 2025 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal. As I walked into Charleston International Airport with the nondescript document under my arm, a surreal feeling hit me. How did a Facebook comment turn into all this? I clutched the document more tightly, knowing full well that my usual nature as a bull in a china shop was incongruous with having a box of such importance in my hands. In this box was a 209-year-old Lodge Minutes book that could very well contain the answers to several key questions about the early history of the Supreme Council. How it ended up in my possession and on its way to the House of the Temple in Washington, D.C. is a story that will be told fully in our upcoming documentary, Finding the 11 Gentlemen. Here we will share the backstory for readers of the Scottish Rite Journal. In planning the content for the 2025 biennial session, our production team realized a video preview of the Scottish Rite's upcoming 225th anniversary celebration in Charleston in May 2026 would be an ideal addition to the slate of videos to be shown during the public session. With cameras in hand, I took a quick trip to South Carolina in late May. The goal was to film some local footage, visit the brothers in the Valley of Charleston, and get back to Washington after a quick overnight visit to the Scottish Rite's holy city. When people talk about Southern charm, Charleston, South Carolina is likely the prototype of what they are envisioning. It is a beautiful and fascinating port city, and its people have a way about them that made me feel at home as soon as I got to town. In addition to this, the Masonic history of Charleston is nothing short of catnip to Masonic nerds like me. As I toured the Masonic sites of Charleston, I took the chance not only to shoot video for the biennial session, but also to produce a few clips for YouTube and other social media. One clip attracted the keen eye of historian and author Brother Joe Wages, 32nd degree. In the video, I narrate some Scottish Rite history at the corner of Broad and Church Streets, which today there is a bank. In front of the bank is a marker noting that the corner was formerly occupied by the legendary Shepherd's Tavern where the Supreme Council first met in 1801. Over my shoulder in the video was a 3-story building with a handsome iron facade. It was this building that prompted Joe's comment, which has since gone viral. Funny enough, brother, the building you passed before it was there was La Candor, both French and English-speaking ORS, the Grand Lodge of South Carolina Ancient York Masons, and 4 of its lodges met from 1796 to 1800. To translate from geek speak to English, this ironclad building, which I had not even noticed, once housed 2 orders of the Royal Secret, the Grand Lodge of South Carolina Ancient York Masons, and 4 of its constituent lodges. By the time I read Joe's comment, I was already back at the House of the Temple behind my desk, so I called him. Although he is a regular contributor to Scottish Rite Media and other Masonic publications, as well as a collaborator with some of my House of the Temple colleagues, this was the first time I had ever spoken to Brother Joe. As soon as we connected, it felt like our discussion was of sincere importance. As we spoke, Joe told me about the blue building I originally had overlooked at 42 Broad Street. This would have been right next door to Shepherd's Tavern, and the building itself had been the home of La Candor Lodge No. 12, beginning in 1796. The building continued to be used as a lodge until well into the 19th century. In the many published histories of the Scottish Rite, La Candor Lodge is little more than a glorified footnote. It earns only a few paragraphs, which tend to focus on the fact that 2 of the so-called 11 Gentlemen of Charleston were founding members of the lodge. However, in the Scottish Rite Research Society articles in both the Plumline and Herodom, Brother Joe explored the history of La Candor Lodge more thoroughly. According to Joe, the significance of this lodge has been overlooked somewhat. There are many unanswered questions about the formation of the Mother Council of the World, and the first minutes of the book of La Candor Lodge could hold the answers to those questions. The minutes book is just there in a Rubbermaid tote in an unconditioned space. This is the early history of Scottish Rite, just deteriorating every day. Joe spoke without a hint of hyperbole. I've been begging for someone to go to Charleston and get these documents back to the House of the Temple so they can be fully translated and restored. The answers are in there, but I am not sure where the book is at this point. I don't think anyone has seen it for a few years. I made up my mind then and there I would be the one to bring the first minutes book of La Candor Lodge back home to the House of the Temple for translation and restoration. How I found the minutes book, got it back to Washington, and solved other Masonic mysteries along the way is a great story of brotherhood, history, interfaith cooperation, and plain dumb luck. To be continued next issue. Like and share this article, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment, please leave one, and as a reminder, hit the notifications bell. Any accompanying photographs or citations for this article can be found in the corresponding print edition. The Scottish Rite Journal is published by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. Mark Dreisenstock, 33rd degree, Managing Editor. I'm your host, Matt Bowers.